Hello, I'm Gaeulsky, VTuber and artist, and this is part 2 of showing my sister Fatui Boss music themes. So if you haven't watched part 1, please do. The link will be showing above, and then come back to this video. And my sister, she is classically trained opera singer as well as a strong background in theater. So she's familiar with both operatic vocal types and techniques, but also with the Commedia dell'arte, which is the inspiration for Fatui Harbingers. This video will be looking at Scaramouche and Arlecchino boss themes, as well as an extra bonus. So look forward to that at the end of the video. And I'll also be discussing with my sister about her overall thoughts of the Genshin soundtracks and whether she'll be interested in listening to more. So yes, please watch till the end. Alright, so they do hint at what Dottore and Scaramouche's plans are. And basically what happens is that Dottore is trying to help the Sumeru Academia replace the Goddess of Wisdom with Scaramouche. And Scaramouche actually is a former vessel for Raiden Shogun. He was gonna be like another Inazuma god vessel, but he got dumped because he was too emotional. So now he wants to be a god vessel somewhere else. So that's the idea here. And so when we are trying to stop the plan, we end up having to fight like a big mecha version of him. Kind of fun.
Yep.
So that's the next boss fight music. And the first part is gonna be not live performance, and then it'll move to the live performance version.
Reminds me of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Like Imperial Mart.
There's sand dunes.
That's fair. Related, but I thought Dune would have more of a like a space opera feel to it, but he went in a very different direction. The music.
You hear that theme again? The bum 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 bum.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit of techno.
Yeah.
Need that Mordor choir to really give the ominous vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Probably hard to recreate that sound in live.
Yeah. No, we were like trying to figure out who this voice was, because it sounds so similar to the Chinese voice actor of Scaramouche. So we're like, okay, this is him, right? But then it turned out to be the composer himself. So it was Yu Peng Chun. So Yu Peng Chun is like the main composer and music director for Genshin up until Sumeru. He retired from the position after Fontaine. But that's his voice. I think he probably did a demo and just used it. I don't know why, this part reminds me of Prince of Egypt.
Yeah. Aura Bra. There's a little bit of Dune vibes right there.
And the next one should be live performance. Oh, they gave us the lyrics this time! Ah!
Nice. Is he wearing game accurate costume?
No. Yeah, Scaramouche is a Japanese puppet. There it is! The Inazuma sound.
Mm-hmm. A cool little mashup. Ooh, I like the rolled R's. I think this guy is a baritone.
Mm-hmm. There's the Becca.
Oh.
Flash warning, guys.
A little bit of staccato to give that.
Yeah, we got our Japanese music.
Yep.
I think what was crazy is we basically fought his mother, like his creator. We call her the mother because, you know, she created him twice now. She has 2 boss fight modes.
Right.
And then we fight him, and some of his techniques are similar. Like the big ball of purple energy coming down, they both do that.
I really enjoy the diction. Singing Latin is usually like it's very important to have good diction, very precise tall vowels, rolled R's, of course, and usually the pronunciation is ecclesiastical, and then not so much the classical Latin.
Yeah, and they got really good talent. I can't wait to show you like the Fatui boss fight music, but we're not gonna have time for that today.
Yeah,
but it's great seeing all the people that they bring in singing for the game. There's one more boss fight theme. We're gonna move on from Sumeru. We were able to sort of defeat Scaramouche, kinda, with the help of the Goddess of Wisdom. And then she kind of rehabilitates him and makes him go to school. So, yeah,
that's how you become a better person. You go to school.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like regular school. It's like basically a high-end university, but it's just funny. And then we moved on to Fontaine. The thing about Fontaine is it's a French-inspired country, and this boss fight doesn't really have anything to do with the main quest, so we'll kind of ignore that for now. But for the context, our next boss fight is going to be against Arlecchino. Arlecchino has kind of been our ally in Fontaine, but her job is to run the orphanage that basically recruits orphans into the Fatui. And there's a plot line.
Exploitation.
Arlecchino is actually raised in that same orphanage as well. So she kind of rose up in the ranks and killed the previous Arlecchino and became the current Arlecchino.
Wait, is that how you become the next thing, by killing the previous person?
Not necessarily, but that's what happened with Arlecchino.
Because that would be pretty wild.
And she's actually hasn't been in charge for that long because one of the characters we can play as, named Fremine, he knew both Arlecchinos. And he's like a young man now, so I mean, he looks very young, but I assume he's like a young adult at this point. But yeah, he knew both Arlecchinos. So she hasn't actually been Arlecchino for that long. She prefers to be called Father because the previous Arlecchino was abusive and went by Mother. So she doesn't like being called Mother. But we still end up fighting this new Arlecchino because our friends Linny, Lynette, and Femine, who are basically the top 3 kids in the orphanage, they are trying to figure out how to help the other kids who do want to leave, figure out how to help them leave. And Arlecchino is like, well, you can't really leave. if you leave, yeah. Like, I mean, she cares about them, but at the same time, it's like you can't just leave. You have to die.
So, it's part of this toxic cycle.
And so, yeah, this is the context for the fight. She does actually have a very smart solution to this conundrum. But for now, we're gonna fight first. This is all live performance for both phases.
Oh, child choir.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're so small.
Arlecchino's power involves like red X's, so that's why they're using that light. That's very clever use of lighting, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she also is called the Knave, so they don't really call her Harlequin ever in the game, but we do call her the Knave as well, not just Arlecchino.
Okay. So, like, playing cards.
Soloist. What voice type is that?
Contralto?
Wow.
Alright, definitely contralto. I love a good contralto voice.
Actually kind of matches her like father vibe.
Yeah, contralto is the lowest female voice in opera, known for its rich, deep timbre. It's a very rare voice type. Usually, the characters that contraltos play are older, authoritative, villainous characters. So sometimes contraltos sing mezzo roles. There's not a ton of contralto roles. So I think there is one opera, like a Cinderella opera, where Cinderella is actually played by a contralto.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, her costuming is sort of accurate.
Yeah, Rossini's Cinderella is a contralto. Love it.
Crazy. So crazy.
Like, being able to sing that low and with like resonance, very impressive. It's also one of those things where like you can work to increase your like vocal range for her higher notes. But lower notes, that's really you're just born with it. So.
Yeah. That's crazy. I'm so curious what's next. I try to look if there's any like actual boss fights from the Fatui that I didn't know about because I didn't play the latest quests yet. But so far we do actually meet Columbina, and actually, you know what? Did I? Because it's still Columbina related.
Okay,
Maybe I should play it. You're gonna be maybe surprised who you see. Okay. This is Columbina's theme. And they invited someone very special to perform it.
It's Aurora, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did Frozen.
Yeah. Yeah, because this new region is right before you enter Snezhnaya, called Notcry, and it's, I believe, based off of Scandinavia. I think that's why they invited Aurora.
Like a nasally sound.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a folk sound to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean nasal in a bad way. It's meant like very specific. It's very different from like a classical sound.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of folk singing involves a lot of nasal sounds, because Korean folk singing is like that too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or is throat singing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Columbina is basically I don't exactly know the lore, but I do know she has a connection to the moon goddess of old. This Genshin's world used to be ruled by moon goddesses. So Columbina is kind of connected to that in some way, and so she actually left the Fatui to rule Notcry as like the moon goddess. So I don't know anything else beyond that, but I do know that her, I guess, friend in the Fatui, Sandroni, is kind of upset about that, and Sandroni is also there, Notcry. So I'm curious about what else happens between them.
Yeah, it's interesting how like you have all these Commedia dell'arte character names, but they're not like connected in the same way Commedia dell'arte characters are. Like in Commedia dell'arte, Columbina is the love interest of Arlecchino and Piero. But I don't think that's the case here.
Yeah.
And of course, like Arlecchino is usually a man, but you did explain like, you know, she took over the previous Arlecchino. So yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the Fatui harbingers are very old. So like Columbina is probably at least 500 years old, if not older. Signor is really old. Piero too is from like a civilization that ended 500 years ago. Same for Capitano. And so it's actually Tartaglia is the outlier there because he's like in his 20s, and everybody else is really old. Even Arlecchino, she's young physically, but she's technically like from a time warp. She's actually from the fallen civilization as well for 500 years ago, but she kind of went through a time warp.
No notes on Aurora's singing. She always has like this ethereal quality about her and makes it sound so easy.
Definitely not. Alright.
Yeah.
That's the story of the Fatui so far. I can't wait till we meet Zaritza and Snezhnaya. I don't know why I was talking in a Russian accent. But yeah. Also, I want to play. I like Pantalone. He's my type. Was there anybody that stood out to you? Is a character?
I mean, not really.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd be able to pick them out from a lineup, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they seem pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't think you were able to even see Scaramouche. You just saw him in his mecha form.
Yeah.
I'll show him to you later. Alright, thank you so much for reacting to it. What do you think about Genshin music so far?
I mean, they really know how to pick their talent. So,
Yeah.
and then just like, you don't, I think like video game music is a good avenue for just exploring different things. And then like for these people to have jobs, I mean, you don't control those don't get to do a ton of things. So other than
Mm-hmm.
like obscure roles in certain operas, so being able to do like a video game thing is pretty cool. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, and it kind of helps with the storytelling, I think, even if you don't
Yeah,
understand the words that are being said. But it's not like you're trying to pay attention to lyrics when you're trying to fight something, but it just
right.
creates
Like
that
I mean, if I'm
atmosphere.
thinking of like other movies where they have soundtracks and they're saying in Latin or Elvish or whatever, like it's not really about knowing exactly what it means. So some people are about that, but even for the casual fan, it just gives like an atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and also with games, like it's you just get to like tell the story using the music, and sometimes people like encounter the music and they're like, "Oh, I like this song," and then they decide to play the game, or vice
Mm-hmm.
versa. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, what do you think about the integration of like classical singing games?
I really like the being able to have like the rock sounds with classical singing, or you have folk singing getting added in there, or like you have the Japanese inspired instrumentation and melodies with the classical sound plus rock plus all like a full Western orchestra. So
Mm-hmm.
just being able to experiment with all those things and like see like the harmony of it
Mm-hmm.
all together as an ensemble. And then it also doesn't feel super disconnected. Like we can like as I'm not a Genshin player, but if I was like I can definitely like see like recurring themes that keep it all together so it's not like it feels like very disjointed or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like there's a lot of critiques that have happened with world design or character design, but some things that I mean, I did complain about the character demo music, but besides that, like as far as the in-game world music is or soundtracks that they composed, it's all so well thought out. And I obviously with the Fatui themes doesn't really show much of that except for the occasional like Japanese theme or whatever. But they really try to use authentic sounds for a lot of regions, like Chinese instruments for the Liyue region, Japanese instruments for Inazuma, even African and South American instruments for I believe some Southeast Asian instruments as well for Netland, and same thing with Sumeru. They use a lot of Arabic sounds. It's just so good that they so much care into that. I can't wait to show you some more Genshin music because I think there's a lot more to experience.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, but thank you so much for reacting with me, and hopefully the audience likes it as well. All right,
Please
bye.
like.
Yes,
Bye.
please like. All right, so that is the full reaction of my sister to the Fatui boss fights. And yes, she is interested in listening to more, so there will be more videos in the future. Subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified when the next video arrives. Now, you may have noticed that this channel is pretty diverse when it comes to the topics, but hopefully you find it all interesting. They're all culturally focused and trying to teach you different elements of history, culture, music, art, all these different techniques that could help you become better as a creator in all kinds of media. So, obviously, if you want to make something that will include music, such as video games or movies or just music on its own, this can be helpful to you. But also, if you want to create a character inspired by a particular vocal type or want to know more about vocal techniques that you can write about in a story. Hopefully this helps as well. So thank you so much for watching till the end of the video, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!